Well, guys, Rory McIlroy, a huge story heading into the Masters, as he's been, well, since he collapsed back in 2011. But Bobby's coming off a really good finish at the Valero Texas Open, a T3, his best finish on the PGA Tour this season. Of course, he has the win on the DP World Tour. What are you expecting from Rory this week?
Well, I think that finish was a good sign. After the Players' Championship, he went and saw Butch Harmon. He had a lesson. He got a little tuned up. We've seen him sort of working on it with his backswing, the first movement away from the ball. He also went to Taylormade, to the Kingdom, where we have been before, Adam, and got fit for some new irons, the first new irons he's had in 2 years. So I think really he's finding a way to do everything he can to give himself a chance to play better golf. The thing I like about what he's coming in here, he said too often he's come back here trying to win the tournament. He thinks about winning rather than just going out and playing great golf and letting the score dictate where he finishes.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Rory, his current form that he's in, even if you exclude the T3 there last week, he's been playing well enough at times during almost every single tournament, is making so many birdies, playing so aggressively, and it's actually been the mistakes that have been costing him throughout the year. And so he needs to tidy that up, there's no question, but he's playing well enough and making enough birdies to make a charge here if he can just clean up the rest of his game. And when it comes down to it, Rory, and we see this all the time, it's making putts. I mean, we just see him giving himself so many chances and not able to convert it, and that can kind of wear on you as a player.
Now, Bob mentioned Rory working with Butch Harmon, and he's done some work with Butch Harmon before, but it's been more publicized this time around. To make a swing change like this, which is pretty big, changing your takeaway this close to the Masters. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think they obviously, they would have spoken about this going in. They're like, what are our best chances to win here this week? They're not going to make a big change enough that it's going to, take months to tighten things up. So there's no question that him and Butch said, hey, look, this may look drastic, but it's actually pretty minor in the grand scheme of things, and this is what's going to get you over the hump and win that green jacket.
Now at the Valero Texas Open, too, Rory McIlroy's strokes gain approach, it was his best since 2019 in a single tournament. So, Bob, that's got to be a good sign for Rory.
I think was just relieved, perhaps more than anything, to see the performance that he put in at the Texas Open. The other thing, too, is you saw him kind of thinking about everything. You saw him kind of like worrying about it or taking time on his backswings, and you wonder if that is going to be able to be sort of natural enough to let him be free here.
It is nice, though, that he's got one tournament under his belt with the change now and a good finish on top of that with, good statistics as well. So that's got to give him extra confidence. If he would have gone into Valero last week and played poorly, then the wheels kind of start turning. You're like, was this the right thing to do? But there's no question that bumps up your confidence coming into this week.
Now, Graham, when you were playing and you were making a swing change heading into a PGA Tour event, how long did it take for it to actually feel comfortable and just play golf and not play golf swing, if you will?
Well, you're asking the wrong guy because I never really made any swing changes or thought mechanically. But there'd be times where I would get to a tournament and I would just, you dig it out of the dirt. You go and you find out, why am I doing this? And you hit balls and you hit balls and you hit balls until you find something. And sometimes it takes 30 minutes till you find something, and you start flushing it, you start working on that confidence. Sometimes it takes 3 hours, and every player is different. But once you start hitting the shots and know that you can hit, like, especially different trajectories and spins and draws and cuts, that's when you know that you're not just hitting standard 7-irons to a flag on the driving range. You're actually hitting golf shots, and that's the key.
Now, Rory McIlroy has had success here at the Masters, but in his last 3 appearances, he's missed the cut twice.